this is the area here. We need a good quality dust barrier across all these doors. Can't be just a piece of poly hanging from the ceiling. Need a good quality dust barrier. Here's another typical mop sink faucet. Mop sink faucet will get replaced with new piping down the walls, but the new piping down the walls can be exposed. Piping will be abandoned in the wall. The new piping will be exposed. Another drinking fountain. We'll install a standard high-low dual level drinking fountain. We'll have a void above the existing here. That'll have to get patched back with block. This is a typical restroom. Access hatch in the ceiling, 3 feet above the ceiling. We'll have to open the block, and a couple of the stalls above the water mains. To demo the old pipe out, slip the new pipe in. Everything else remains the same. It's above the ceiling at about 3 feet.
So here you can see the space above the plaster ceiling.
We'll have to disconnect the gas, shut off the gas piping, disconnect the gas, and reinstall faucet with gas valves.
We have the instructor sink with the hot and cold, with the vacuum breaker faucet, and the stations just have cold water. When we get around the corner, there's 2 rooms that have gas valves. There's a 3 rooms. 3 rooms. Yeah. And most of the rooms have a lot more stations than this one here. We'll walk through quickly. I'll spend the most time here. So the pipes are coming down through the wall. They're going through carrier pipes into here. And mixing valve is in the cabinet here. So I will just, in this case, I see the pipes come down here, go under the cabinet and come up. And you have to run new lines for the new faucet and reconnect to the mixing valve. That's a typical arrangement, but not necessarily a typical relationship. Some of them, they might come down at a different angle.
So are you saying you don't think your carrier pipe's big enough that'll have to be replaced?
You can't access the ends of the carrier.
Okay.
That's the problem.
So that's got to be cut open? And,
yep.
Okay.
How are these being fit?
In this particular case,
Pipes come down the wall.
there's a tunnel underneath
Saw
here.
cut the floor over to the sink and up. New 6-inch carrier
we're
pipe.
re-entering the tunnel.
Repatch floor.
Taking all the things,
Looks
all
like
the
6x6 tiles.
But those are
8x8 tiles. Typical classroom sink installation. Remove block wall. Remove lockers. Drop piping down out to the sink behind the other side of the wall. Reinstall the lockers, and we have to repaint the space above the lockers column to column.
Run the pipes down the wall, and there's only, the lockers are this high, so there's only a little bit of, and then it goes from beam to beam on the painting, or column to column.
Are there ratings we're trying to maintain on these corridor walls?
These walls are not rated because they have pass-through doors for air. So, but that's a good point. That where
Typical
there are fire.
classroom sink. New countertop and sink in this area. Standard view of the corridor with ceiling grid, 4x2. All removed by Mavo under subcontract. Currently, this is the only form of access to the mechanical room below. We are adding a new door and frame on this wall. All brick.
New fixtures. Now, hot and cold water behind here because they're sprayers that mix the water temperature. So that'll be going on there. So there'll be a tempered water line coming off of there. You need to know about this here. You can see this is all retrofit back in there that has so some baths and things for film, bathroom getting reconfigured. We're just putting a utility sink in there when we're done. And in here, drinking fountain, and we have a mixing valve going on the eye wash here. So all this gets plumbed, and new hot water is going to be coming down from the ceiling, so we want that boxed in. So drawings kind of show the new layout of things here.
Boxed.
Typical drinking fountain installation. Extra holes need to be patched. 2 new sinks and 2 new faucets in replacement to the single. Vent gets moved back in the wall. Hole patched. Wall patched. Here's a photo of the existing tunnel. Looks to be 3.5 feet wide, got about 4 feet of height. High ceilings in the boiler room. Plaster ceilings. Adds difficulty for hanger installation. This is the area that receives the floor cutting and patching for the installation of 2 new floor drains and a clean out. Floor gets saw cut and 2 drains installed here with a drain installed by the pumps. New piping in the mop sink room can be exposed. Mop sink basin remains as is.